Air. Way too early for the fake. This that real game for real bros. No decaf, no cap. Welcome to Shogun Bros, no decaf. Live every weekday, 6:30 in the morning, Central Time. Did you hear what I said? Central Time. We talk dogs, bloodline building to yard work, from stud talk to the truth behind the pups. This ain't no highlight reel. It's how you really build legacy. Shogun Bros, no decaf. Pull up, pull up, handle yours. This ain't just content. It's culture. Welcome to the Cookout with Toyo, where family vibes meet front porch truth. No scripts, no filters, just heart, heat, and hot plates. Ooh. Step up with elevated perspective, with elevated game for grown men and women building mind, spirit, and vision. And men at work with pimps over simps. Church, real convos, no cap, all purpose for the men behind the mission. 3 shows, 1 network, all gas, no decaf. Put no creamer in my man. Look, Shogun Unlimited, man. Press play and get man. Come on, press play, press play.
Hey, what's happening? Elevated, what's going on, man?
I was chilling, looking at the dog of the week.
Yeah,
I like her a lot.
Yeah, that's your kind of dog, huh?
Yeah, I like her a lot.
Yeah, man. So what's happening on the yard, man? You say you working 6 dogs, man. That's some work, boy.
Yeah, I'm working 6 of them to enter, and then I'm gonna enter a couple more too. On top of them 6, just that are just gonna be natural conditions.
Yeah, man. So how's that going?
Pretty good. They're all real good. I mean, I've been doing specific things with each of them, so.
Yeah.
I mean, so the way it works for me, like if I'm gonna have a litter, I might as well have 2 litters. You know what I mean? Because I'm doing the same thing. You know, if I'm working a dog, I might as well work 2 or 3 dogs. Because I mean, I'm already doing it. You know what I mean? It gets me in the routine. It keeps me flowing. Like I'm just kind of like that. Like even remodeling this house, I was working on the bathroom while I was working on the kitchen. You know what I mean? Like I had a few projects going at the same time. I can do that because I might be at a stopping point right here with one of the projects, but then the other project I might have something I can do all day. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's the same way my dad was. So I got after him a lot.
Dickie Foster, what's happening, man? Wes Walker, man. Salute. Todd Green. Hey. Yeah, man.
What's up, brother?
So, explain to me, is like, how are you working these, like, how are you handling these dogs, man? That's a lot of work for one person, man. And I know it's strenuous. So how do you go about doing that, man?
So I want them to be strong. You know what I mean? And have enough endurance to do, like, say the call outs. Like, this hasn't even really been talked about, but, like, what is the winning task for the call out, right? Are we just going to bring our dog up live on the video and, like, do a confirmation poll in person, you know? Or do we have to put them on a meal or walk them? You know what I mean? Like,
the call outs, salute, Jerry. What's going down, man? The call outs is really based off of whatever you guys want to set up. So if you like, hey, I want to see you on a slap meal, then we'll set it up that way. It's really between you and the party that you call out. So if you wanted to do wall climb, if you just wanted to do like the digital dog show, but just between y'all two, you could do that. it's whatever you want to call out. So if you wanted to involve the weight, then you can. If you wanted it to be just a bitch on a bitch, it could be that, So, it's just whatever you want to do when it comes to the calling out, legally, digitally.
We'll have to get on and talk about that.
Yeah.
Which one we want to go with,
Well, speaking of, and it kind of gives somebody salute, Tony. Hey, it kind of gives everybody a position to where you can call somebody to your square as far as your game. You probably excel at conditioning, and you might be excel at photography. So you might know how to get the right shots, the right angles and everything. So you might call somebody out just on, shot for shot. You might, you could do what you want to do. It's just whatever y'all agree upon. That's between y'all two. We just showcasing. Yeah. Yep. Hear me?
So, that means the few of us that's in there that's done the call outs, you can join the show or whatever eventually, and we'll talk about what we're gonna do openly. You know what I mean? Maybe get some opinion from you and other people.
And how many people have you called out?
I think me and Supreme.
Okay.
I think me and Big Hill for sure. I know me and you talked about it once.
Yeah.
With Michonne and Legacy. I asked Carton finished, but we ain't never talked about it since. It just hasn't come up. But he was the first one I asked because I asked a couple people and they wasn't down.
I tell you what, you call Hard Finish gonna show up.
Yeah, I know, definitely. Yeah, that's why I hit him up. I knew that when I hit him up about it, I knew that. I'm like, this. Out of all the people that already said no, he's about to be like, hell yeah. And we just haven't talked about it since. But I mean, if he wants to, I'm down. Maybe get Chainsaw against Jarvis or something.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I like to see Chainsaw in motion, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like I say, okay, so like any of the people I've called out or anything, it's because I want to see you know what I mean? I want to see their dog do more because I like their dog or what they're showing in one way or another, Like even like say Big Hill's dogs, right? I've been around the dogs that are very similar to Big Hill's dogs, and I like them a lot. I own a couple of them.
Yeah.
Like Brick, he ain't my first rodeo with a little bit of the Zebo blood. I've had a couple of them.
Yeah.
I've never had nothing but Vindicator in it. That I thought was very interesting that he said he had.
Yeah.
That's cool. Out of the two, if I was to pick, I probably would have picked Vindicator if you just had him in your hands and was like, which one do you want as a puppy? I probably would have picked Vindicator. Because I'm partial on red dogs, but...
Why?
I don't know. I can't explain it. I hate the color red, to be honest with you. But I love red bulldogs. I don't know.
That's crazy. Yeah. Hey, so we were talking about
Hold up. Sorry. I had a spam call. I swear these spam callers know that I'm on the live on the show, so they just be calling me during it.
All you gotta put your phone on if you on your phone, put it on do not disturb.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, problem solver.
I'll figure out how to do that,
yeah. What kind of phone do you have?
It's the new iPhone.
Oh, I don't do iPhone, man. I can't tell you none of that.
I can figure it out.
Yeah, we don't do iOS in this house. In my house. Yeah. Yeah, so we were talking about pups that don't make the cut earlier today. Now, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you, when it comes to choosing a pup, if you had to choose one pup out of a litter, right? And you know, it's not necessarily about what, I don't know, like, you ever go up to a litter to see a dog and you get like a special feeling about a dog?
Yeah.
You know, you don't know why, you just, you know, that's the dog. Can you explain to us what that feels like, and what are you looking at when you're getting that special feeling about that dog?
Okay, so I went to Legend's house recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Come over here and look at this." And we walked over there, and there was like 3 or 4 puppies sitting there with the mama, and she was on a chain, like she just
Mm-hmm.
had them living with her, right? And I'm like, hand me that one. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not getting rid of this one." I said, "No, I just want to hold it. I just want to see it, you know." And he
Mm-hmm.
handed it to me, and man, this was the fattest, like prettiest little butterball puppy. I said, "I
Yeah.
really like this pup." He said, that little fucker, he'd be hanging out under there, over under that car and away from him. He said the rest of him stays with her, and he'll be off fooling off." And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's funny that I walk up and pick the one that was different without even knowing, just seeing them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Just off of gut instinct, I picked the one that had the different traits. And he said that her grandma was like that, and she was a badass dog. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't, like, it's a gut instinct. You just have a feeling sometimes. Some people have this feeling that like that's the one in your head. You just, some attraction to a specific puppy for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, I was picking puppies so young, I can't really necessarily pinpoint why I do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But like certain ones, like I know they'll never be bred into my shit. It ain't even got nothing to do with, you know what I mean? Like sometimes, and they might end up better in like a great adult, and I might, you know, be like, well, I could breed it to this one. But
Yeah.
for the most part, I pretty much have an idea of which ones are going to play a genetic role in the future.
Gotcha.
And
So.
I keep, so say I'm going to keep 2 males, 2 females, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep a rowdy male and the calm male. I'll keep a
Mm-hmm.
rowdy female and a calm female,
Mm-hmm.
because it don't really matter at that age. You know what I mean? I'll just pick them based on genetics, and you know that it. But it seemed to be that I've picked a rowdy male and a calm male and a rowdy female and a calm female. But not intentionally doing it. Later
And
on, as they get about 14 weeks old, I realized I did that.
do you ever is that how you also look to breed also, like taking a rowdy to a calm?
Through my blood, that just seems to be like the females are pretty rowdy and the males are just calm and laid back for the most part. Some of them will get real buck, but that just seems to be a trait that's happened for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, like a trait that's been passed on for a long time, like all the way from Thor and Dixie 25 years ago.
Yeah. So what are some early signs that the puppy, like dogs won't make the cut? And when I say don't make the cut, this is a personal preference question. This is no right or wrong answer. It's just what works for you. And when I say doesn't make the cut, I mean make the cut for your yard as far as what you're keeping.
So at a young age, the only 2 determining factors I use for what I'm going to keep, and I can boil it down to 2 really, is the sex of them, because I have an intention for the reason I'm keeping the sex I'm keeping. You know what I mean? And then what they can genetically bring to the table. You know what I mean? Like their color, their structure, what it'll end up bringing to the table. Those are the 2 things I pick mine from young age. Then say I'm going to bring one in that my buddy owns, you know, that I've watched it grow up, and I'm like, damn, that's actually a pretty badass dog, you know. Say then then at that point, it's more what it's done to impress me, whether or not I want to breed it, more than what the other two determinant factors. It got boiled down to the third one with age.
Yeah.
Because in these dogs, we can only break them down into these categories to like certain points. Say, because I want people to come and get their pups at 6 to 8 weeks old. You know what I mean? I want them to come and get them. I want them to start adapting to them. I want them to know their names. Like, they'll be the best dogs they can ever have if they get them young enough. You know what I mean? That's just my belief. They won't have littermate syndrome. You know what that is?
Yeah.
Where they can fight, or where they don't get along, or where they act skittish, because there's tons of different variables to littermate syndrome. I'll Google the legit what littermate syndrome is.
Yeah. Well, what's going on, man? Yellow, man.
So it says littermate syndrome refers to a set of behavioral problems that can arise when two or more puppies from the same litter are raised together in the same household. These issues often stem from the puppies becoming overly dependent on each other and not developing proper socialization and human to puppy bonding. So like they're either too over bonded or under bonded, or you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why I would rather them go to their household, and then they can, have that bond with the person that gets it.
Gotcha.
And I mean, that's why I get their ears cut at 6 weeks old.
Yeah.
That's pretty young. A lot of people, I mean, don't do it that young, but I mean, that's where I prefer it, because they're not doing a lot. They can heal up really good.
Yeah.
By the time they're 12 weeks old, their ears are standing perfectly healed, no more scabs, look great.
So, let's talk about the runt and where the runt sits with you, as far as how you view the runt out of the litter. Is that some people are attracted to the runt, some people don't want the runt, some people just consider the runt another dog in the litter. Where does that sit with you?
I'm pretty much one of them that just considers the runt another dog in the litter. You know what I mean? I never thought that had any significance to a dog. Like, I just don't. I don't know. It don't mean nothing. Like, I've always thought more that, like the first one that pops out means more to me than whether the big one or the small one. Like, I've kept a lot of the first ones that popped out of the litter. The first one born, I've kept it. You know what I mean? Just out of principle. And I've always liked them for some reason. I'll say that. I don't know. I've never heard anybody else talk about that. But I have kept, like, I got Duchess, awesome dog, phenomenal. She was the first one to pop out. I'm keeping the little black male out of Vixen right here, the one that looks like Thor. He was the first one to pop out. Like, I don't know. I kept Rogue. She was the first one. She was the first one to pop out. I mean, it just keeps it. But then, like, say Jarvis, I brought him back in, and he was the last one, out of that litter. Like, Rogue was the first, he was the last, and they're both equally as badass. So, like, it don't mean nothing, some of these things that these preferences that people choose to have in their head.
Yeah. So, I've seen all types of situations when it comes to the runts, man. Like, typically, I've seen more people sometimes separate the runt for I guess attitude things, separating the runt, and because at that point in time, a lot of times the runt last to eat and all types of stuff, man. So I find a lot of runts more hot or more defensive and active in that way. But
if they're raised with their litter mates,
if they're raised if they're raised with their litter mates, if they're separated after they've gained that attitude, man, it sticks with them. Another thing, depending on the situation, man, sometimes the runt gets fed more than the others, because people trying to play catch up, separating the runt taking care of. It's all types of stuff, man. It's just some people like to run, some people don't, man. I just wanted to know your perspective on where it would sit with you when it came to actually deciding what you want to keep.
So it wouldn't deter me from keeping one, and it wouldn't make me want to keep one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I've seen the biggest puppy grow up to be the smallest dog, and then I've seen that was Mason. He was the biggest puppy. They was calling him Fat Man before I got him. You know what I mean? Just because he was so big, and like he was only like 4 weeks old when I got him. So he was just so big the whole time they were calling him Fat Man. And then he ended up being the smallest one. Yeah. Out of all his brothers that he's been around, he's the smallest one.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, like it just some of that it don't tell me what they're gonna be full grown sometimes. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, although I will say Judge was the biggest one out of the litter, and he is still the biggest to this day. Like he is. He's probably like 55 pounds, 50 pounds. I don't know, I'll weigh him later. But
how much does Mason weigh?
Oh, he's like 50.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he's shorter. He's shorter than Judge.
That's why he looks so big. Yeah, that's why he looks bigger than 50. He looks bigger than 50.
He's probably like 58 right now, 60 though, because I have
been keeping
him. I mean, he's older. I'm just keeping him a little chunkier. Like, it's good for him at this age.
Yeah,
he was happy. He lays in his doghouse and chills.
All right. So, with that being said, then what's some like behavioral red flags?
So, like, sometimes a dog will do something one day and then won't never do it again in its life. You know what I mean? Repetitive bad behaviors are ones I pay attention to. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm watching that dog from the time it's born till it's 12 weeks old, and I've seen it do a couple of things, and repetitively, not like it's a one-time thing. Yeah. That's what I pay more attention to. What is reoccurring, because that can become that, and then there's certain traits that goes along with bad behaviors that show are like a telltale sign at a young age. You know what I mean? And a lot of people think like food aggression is that sign, but really it's not. That is not. That is something that our breed, if they show it at a young age, like let's say the Zebo dogs, anything like that, if they show it at a young age, as long as you correct them right at a young age, they'll never do it again to you. Yeah. You know what I mean? But they ain't gonna let nothing else eat out of their food bowl neither. So I don't know. Like, there's certain things like for example, okay, so I sent Jarvis to throwbacks, right? And he got a squirrel down there, and throwback took it from Jarvis and messed with a couple of the other ones, and then gave it back to Jarvis, and he walked down through the woods, and by the time he come back up through there, it was dark, and Jarvis was still fucking eating on that squirrel. Oh, it was either a squirrel or a rabbit. Can't remember. Either way, so throwback went to take it from him, and like Jarvis wasn't about to let him do that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like that was because he had took it from him once, and then he let a couple of dogs mess with it and stuff, and then he gave it back, and like he wasn't about to let him take it from him and give it to another dog again. I think that he would never growl at me, but I raised him. You know what I mean? From a young age, that plays a big part in that dog, because he has a whole lot of Alonzo Vandy stuff in him. You know what I mean? Which is what's responsible for Zebo. Yeah. Like, them traits, they're still there. Like, he would bite another man, but he ain't going to bite me. And he wouldn't bite Lester. You know what I mean? We raised him from the time he was little. So, yeah. Like Lester, he could come back tomorrow and get him and take him to the dog park. I guarantee it. But I can't take him to the dog park. He would be kicked out before he even made it in the gate. Yeah. But Lester can, for some reason, dude. But Lester raised him from the time he was really little. You know what I mean? Taking him to do these things, so he don't have no bad he don't have no bad altercation with going with Lester. You know what I mean? He
Mm-hmm.
he has a expected behavior, and he knows that Lester expects him to act a certain way, so he does. You know, it's pretty wild. And I mean, this is a top bred pit bull terrier.
Yeah.
Like, and he can still take him as a grown dog to the dog park. I mean, he wouldn't, because I told him that's not smart. but I know that he did a bunch. As a
You know how many?
adult.
You know how many dogs I've taken to the dog park?
I mean,
0.
yeah, I've okay, so like one time when Mason was little, I was walking through the park and I thought about taking him in there, but like
Mm-hmm.
the way them people were looking at me, I was only like 17, 18. The way them people were looking at me, I just kept walking. I was like, nah, they don't want me to bring him in there.
Yeah.
They're like scared the way he looks.
Yeah, because that was one of the things I really wanted to get into was dog parks, not going inside the dog park, but being outside of the dog park with my dog and going through training sessions, because I didn't have a lot of places to really get active with like a lot of dog distractions. Like the dogs that I had, they used to, something that's out of their comfort zone per se, So that was one thing I wanted to do, but I'd never fool with a dog park, man. Yeah. Welsh, what's going on, man? Game breaker.
What's up with it?
Hey, what's the deal?
Man, I'm just sitting back, relaxing, man, enjoying the show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. You got some game for us, man. So how do you when it comes to you picking not even picking a pup, what pups wouldn't make the cut for you?
Man, that comes with a lot of specs and stipulations, depending on the breed.
Mm-hmm.
What I know about the parents, the whole bloodline, but just a regular puppy. It might sound a little silly, but I'm from like Elevated said, from 6 to 8 weeks, the dogs already, even though they still puppies, maybe if they all the way fat, they still start showing a little conformation. So
yeah.
I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the structure of the dogs. I'm looking at, I don't really like, I get a dog with bad ears and all that stuff, but I like pretty conformed dogs, you know what I'm saying? They say you want to, if you showing good, why not look good while showing good? You know what I'm saying? So I like a good look dog, I like the puppies who are active, They showing a lot of different things. I like the puppy who's aggressive, you know what I'm saying? I also done got a lot of results with the puppy who's over there by itself, away from everything. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times those get looked over, but sometimes they could be the secret to your success.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Like you were saying, a lot of times when people say they want to runt, well, it's because, I see a trait in the runt that most of the time, if the runt is able to survive, he may be a little bit actually stronger than a lot of the other puppies because he's always last to eat. You know what I'm saying? So his survival mode is a little bit more intense than a puppy who's getting fed correctly. But then once the person who gets the runt, like you said, he's gonna come up because he's getting way more attention because he was last.
Yeah.
So the person who got him trying to bring him from last to first place now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So in most cases, not all cases, in most cases, that's why the runt ends up outshining the hot dog. Because the hot dog, you done did everything with this hot dog. You made it done ruin him before it was even in time because he's showing you all types of stuff that you like to see.
Yep. And I'm glad you said that too, man, because for me, like when I was young, that's all I wanted was that dog that's just fire, just straight hot. And now I kind of steer away from that, just off of what I know comes along with a lot of that stuff, man. And how I've had duds like that,
For the old first to start, first to quit saying.
Yeah, I've had duds like that. So I kind of steer away from that, you know. But as far as the runt, man, yeah, like yeah, people definitely play catch up with the runt, man, and yeah, you know, and that's why I wanted to say that's where I got my game from was my homeboy. He was a runt man, and he would always feed his dogs puppy food like up until they were like 14, 15 months, which you know it could be dangerous if you really don't know what you're doing because it causes the dog to continue to grow, which can give it joint issues, you know, and all types of stuff, man.
Right.
It's outside of its you know, its standard whatever you want to call it. But he would feed his runts, you know, about till they were about 14, 15 months puppy food, and they would grow and you would see it, you know. So yeah, I got a little game from that. Yeah.
Todd Green said, "Who's going to the pig picking this year?" Todd, you already know I'll be at the pig picking, bro.
Yeah, who you bringing?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know yet. Shoot, I'll probably take a few. I usually take 5 or 6 to the pig picking.
Yeah, man. The way I'm looking at it, man, I'll probably once I really can move around like I want to, I'll probably start with a South Bottom. That'll probably be like the beginning of my season. Start, you know, working the dog or dogs by that time, man, into the mix, you know. Let them work off that winter weight, and by the time summer come around, we'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I got a story on a runt, right? So I bred Mason to Sissy, and they produced 8 puppies, and a little black and white female come out, and she was just naturally smaller than the rest of them, and it wasn't because she didn't eat as much, you know what I mean? It was because she was just naturally smaller than the rest of them. And, but I bottle fed them all, you know. Like if I'm gonna bottle feed one, I'll bottle feed them all. I might just feed that one a lot more. You know what I mean? Just because and like I have a syringe and I'll enter, like I got in the video of the puppies that I'm editing. I took a video of me introducing them to goat's milk, you know, to get them to drink out of the syringe. That way I wasn't spilling medicine. And then and I did that and got them to where they were drinking out of the syringe. Then I wormed them. You know what I mean? That's something that ain't talked about. That's a trick you can do. It'll keep you from spilling the parental or Nemax.
Yeah.
Okay, so one thing. So that parental, it's vanilla flavored just like Nemax. Like it's you can drink it. It's just like Nemax. There's no difference.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same thing. They just put the Nemax in the Nemax is the name brand, expensive brand. That's like, you know, world known. And then Parental's just over the counter, like for human use. You can use the same dose as the Nemax bottle says.
Yeah, but what's up? What you better say? What you better say, bro?
On all my litters.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
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 It's the same stuff.
You know what's crazy? You saying elevator. You know what's crazy about that worming situation you was talking about?
What's up?
Man, I came to realize after having a lot of dogs and a lot of different yards of dogs, probably when you first you first start trying to worm them, it is a lot of not just worming, other type of medicines and stuff. You can waste a lot of it from not having a handle on your dog, or your dog don't want to take the medicine. You know what I'm saying? But over time, having a big yard, and when the dogs start seeing that you're the one taking care of them, you know what I'm saying, you got their best interest at heart, they start taking the medicine. You know what I'm saying? They know what's up.
Yeah.
So I was referring to them at like 2 weeks where they're
hell yeah. You got that's a great trick for to start giving them water out of the syringe. It's gonna make it 10 times damn near effortless when you get ready to start introducing medicine.
You can use Pedialyte or you can use like goat's milk.
Yeah.
I like the goat's milk and I introduce them to the goat's milk like that at an early age because right when I'm breaking them off, they're going to have the goat's milk too, you know what I mean? Mixed with puppy food. I'll blend it up in a blender and then throw some more puppy food in there, kind of hard chunks. And
How
over time,
long?
I'll add, huh?
How long did you keep them on the goat milk?
Uh, probably till they're 6 8 weeks old, and
Hmm.
I'll taper it off,
Hmm.
and they'll only have puppy food. But they're not eating just goat's milk. That'll
Right.
just be the liquid that softens the food when I blend it. You know what I mean? And from 4 to 8 weeks, I'll start adding more chunks of the puppy food and less, liquid, and like kind of taper it to where they get hard food. And I also use like pedigree puppy food or something that's going to give them soft poops
Right.
because of their rectum and stuff. You don't want to start feeding them food and the food that's going to give them constipation where it hurts their like their rectum and stuff.
Yeah.
So I use something like that that's going to give them soft poops, and then by the time they're 8 weeks, I taper them into the Black Pride, which is for all stages. You can feed it to puppies to old dogs, and
Yeah.
it works.
That goat milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
My case, I want to feed it until you about 2 years old.
you do feed it till they're about 2 years old.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out
So
to
in the wintertime, I use it a lot.
I actually learned that trick from a little experience, and then it kind of confirmed when I heard Bach only in America. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, so
When, when
what were your results after you started doing that?
okay, I'm finna take you to my latest result.
Okay.
I just got back from a vacation. I'm sure both of y'all probably know what a vacation is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep.
Man, I
I sure do.
man, salute everybody, because when I left, I wasn't gone that long, about a couple seasons, but when I left,
Mm-hmm.
it was just a couple podcast out. When I came
Mm-hmm.
back, I seen the explosion. You know, that's how I got on this show, Shogun and all that, man. So
Mm-hmm.
salute everybody, man. It's good to see everybody really fellowshipping with the dogs. But
Man.
my experience with the goat milk feeding it past puppy stages, right before I left, one of my friends, he was finna get ready to go on a vacation, and he had just bought this little tricolor female,
Mm-hmm.
$1 female. And guess what? She was the run of the litter, right?
Right.
So I already knew about the goat milk or whatever, but I'm on these podcasts and everything. So I heard Box say, man, feed the motherfucker goat milk until he about 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? They keeps from breaking his teeth and get stronger bones. You know what I'm saying? So I took this puppy and I fed it goat milk until it was about, I think I left probably when the dog was about a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But at 11 months, when we took it around this little mates, she was bigger than the biggest one that was in the litter.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And now she looked better than all the other little mates. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And especially with, not that was just a bully, you know what I'm saying? But with the hard, I think with the hard keep animals, dogs just got big teeth, you know what I'm saying? Big bones, you know what I'm saying? It's key, you know what I'm saying? It can save you a lot of pain in the long run. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I done been playing with dogs with big teeth, just normal yard play with toys and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
go out there the next day and look and say, damn, teeth chip, teeth broke. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? And I come to learn this because like again, elevated. Most people taking their puppies off anywhere from 6 to 5, 6. When them puppies' eyes open, you know what I'm saying, for the elevated person or the experienced dog person, they gonna go and get their puppy. For one, they trying to save the female. They don't want their female to get sucked all the way down. And if you experience, once they eyes open, you can introduce them to some worm medicine. Hell, I don't need the female no more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but
That's
yeah, I
kind of how
think
I am. Mine
yeah,
about 4 weeks, mine will be off of the bitch.
yeah. But now you gotta, but also when you take the puppy off at 4 weeks, you gotta realize you diminishing the puppy of a lot of natural nutrients that's coming from the female. So you're gonna have to implement that with the supplements that you're feeding with the dog. And one great supplement to feed it is the goat milk. You know what I'm saying? You kind of
Yeah.
get everything
Mm-hmm.
that you missing from taking it off the mama so early.
Yeah.
I'll take like a half a cup too, and I'll scoop out some lard because I keep lard also, and I'll put it in the microwave and I pour it in the mix when I blend it, I'll add a little
Bingo.
bit of fats from the lard, and then I'll add the goat milk, and it's got fats in it, but they're different kinds of fats. And I'll tell you the biggest game changer that I've done recently was add automatic feeders to a lot of my dogs. The ones that are active runners all the time, they just like I got Judge. He was so lean and ripped, and I mean, yeah, it's okay for a dog to be lean and ripped, but I want him to be fat a little bit. So I gave him that automatic feeder, and he ain't messed with it at all. It's a big piece of PVC pipe with a screw with a cap on it and everything.
Right.
So like they can't really mess with it.
Yeah.
Zip tied to
But
the wooden pole.
elevated.
Yeah,
You said you take them off at 4 weeks.
yeah.
What's the reason you doing that?
It's just I've had the best luck out of that. I can start fooling with them, make them independent. I start separating them at a really young age. Like I don't leave my dogs together a lot. I just don't. I never. I mean, like I just never have. I don't know. My dad didn't. I never have. My mom didn't. I don't know.
And have you had a lot of experience with broken teeth?
No, none of my Mason dogs. I'll go through there with the camera. None of my Mason dogs have broken teeth. Not one of them.
I don't know, because I'm just listening, and I mean everybody got their way, but a lot of that stuff just sound like it's kind of long-winded with extra work. Because at the end of the day, um, if everything y'all talking about, if you prep your female properly, you don't really have to do all of that. For
What age
one,
do you
my
notice your
pup.
puppy's teeth start popping out?
What you said? What age they teeth starting to come out?
Yeah, what age do you notice their teeth starting to pop out on a regular in your litter?
I would say I would say 3 or 4 weeks, probably.
Yeah, I bet if I go
I
out
got all
there,
that stuff written. It's written down. But what I'm saying is,
I'm gonna go look.
for instance, my pups, I rarely ever had to worm my pups because,
Yeah,
for one, the parents is going to be wormed and cleaned months before the breeding even happen.
yeah.
And number two, with the female, again, the pups have to stay in the female all that time. So the cleaner the female is, the less you have to do with the pups. That's just a fact. The more you do with the female, the less you have to do with the pups. So if you loading your female up on goat's milk and she already wormed out, that eliminates all of the extra work. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but that eliminates a lot of the extra work that
So,
that some people do after
all
the
right,
pup come out.
these pups turned 2 weeks old yesterday, right? Their teeth are popped out. I'll show you. Can you see him?
Hold on.
Bring it up big.
Okay. Hold up.
Okay. Look at them teeth. See there?
Hold
Why is it
on.
not clear?
If okay.
He's already got teeth. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Let me turn the side.
Now, elevated. This
You see this?
and this the thing. And this the thing. Elevated. When when you separate them, even though I separate mine too, but my thing with that is, it's just like a human. If it's certain women that couldn't produce certain milk. It's certain kids that just wouldn't latch on. But the thing is, you 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 can't cheat the pup with the natural stuff that comes out of the mother's breast. It's nothing that can duplicate that. There's nothing a lab, it's nothing another animal. There is nothing that can duplicate that. Nothing. So even though you separate them, this is just me personally, what I do. Even though I separate them, I would still bring them in one by one to see if she will allow them to still nurse a little bit. If she does, I will let them do it one by one. But at the same time, with giving them goat milk, she's already being fed goat milk during her whole pregnancy and after.
Yeah.
That's fact. I believe that too. I believe you, like you said, the better condition your bitch is before she's getting bred, the easier and better your pup is gonna be.
It's the
That's for
same thing
sure.
like I was just telling you about
Exactly.
the vaccine. It's the same thing with the vaccine I was saying. My dogs are vaccinated right before I do the first stick on my bitch. I
Yeah.
always give them an extra vaccine. So
Yeah.
that's
You
less.
do a nine
I
and
haven't
one
had to
or
deal with
a ten
parvo
and
in
one.
years. A 10-1 plus lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't deal with parvo and all that shit. I don't deal with all that sickly shit. I vaccinate my bitch because the pups are inside the bitch. So they are taking some of that vaccine while they're developing. If she is properly wormed and you worm her one time during the pregnancy, that's less for you to also worry about when the pups come out. If you are already feeding her goat's milk, she's going to produce even better milk and you're going to have healthier pups by the time they already come out. And then the thing, I'm gonna just say this, the whole thing with Bakari's statement. I think some of y'all took it the wrong way. He said up to 2 years. There is no time limit on giving a dog goat's milk. I have 12-year-old
Yeah.
year old dogs that still get goat's milk. Goat's
Facts.
milk is not a seasonal thing. Goat's milk is
Yeah.
something you can feed for a lifetime. So I
Facts.
just want to put that out there because there's somebody out there listening thinking that you have to cut it off at the age of 2. You have to be
Yeah.
careful how you word certain things.
Right.
I don't cut it off at the age. I cut it off in the summertime. I don't feel the need to do it in the summertime. In the wintertime I give it the whole winter. Goat's
Oh
milk.
yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
get
yeah,
goat
yeah, yeah,
they get
yeah,
goat
yeah,
milk
yeah.
and lard the entire wintertime with their
I
food.
mean, in the summertime, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. If you trying to maintain weight or put on weight as far as summer, yes. But if you're not doing that, then yeah, like I said, I'm same way wintertime more doing it. But for the people who trying to maintain a certain weight, because remember, every dog metabolism different. Like um certain smaller dogs eat more than certain bigger dogs. Like you might have a 35 that need more food than the 50-pound dog because the 50-pound dog hold his weight, but the 35-pound dog metabolism might be 5 times as faster than the 50-pound dog. So you literally got to feed the 35-pound more. That's another thing that's not talked about. I have dogs that's smaller than Bane that eat more than Bane because of their metabolism. So
Are they
with the
real
whole ghost
active?
milk, huh?
Is that little bitty dog? Is they with the high metabolism? Is it also real active?
Oh yeah, yeah. He all day, all night. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what
So
I need.
it's with the whole that's what I'm saying with the whole ghost milk thing, elevated right as far as wintertime, but depending on the situation, another dog might need that more on an occasional basis than certain other dogs.
Right. I agree.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was well said about the clearing that up about the goat milk too, because some people might take that the wrong way. You can use the goat milk through the entirement of the dog life. That is a fact.
Yeah, hey, what you call it? Salute the salute the Bach, man, for dropping the game right there, man.
Yeah, man. Salute out to Bach, all the legends, man. Salute y'all.
Man,
That's a lot of game, man. Man, I got man. Much shit it this on this podcast right now, man. I got that don't even know nothing about the dogs can just come here and take notes and just listen to everybody and what's being said. It could be a phenomenal dog, man.
yeah, and that's kind of what what we're trying to gear it towards, man, because everybody knows something, man. You know, and it's enough. It's a like I say, man, for me, and this is just for me and the way I look at it. There's enough OGs out here that can talk about the old school that lived it, walked it, and breathed it. To speak on it in detail, man. Uh, Try to build it to where we can come here and congregate and leave with some good info. you know. So that's pretty much what it is, man. Shit, I learn something every day, you know. Yeah.
When you stop
And
learning, you
then
might
and
as well
then
go and jump in the box.
Yeah.
yeah, and elevated
Yes, sir.
right here on the yard in Virginia. Every single dog that you've been seeing that I put in the group, all of them dogs is runts. Bane was the runt. Macho Caesar was the runt.
Huh.
Goddamn Macho Boo was the runt. Goddamn that whole yard is all runts of different dogs.
Huh.
I gotta check the one from Heart and
So
Finish.
Was that
I don't know
you
if
a
he
intentional?
rut,
was the
man.
runt, but
Like
yeah,
you intentionally broke them up like that?
yeah,
You
Okay, that's cool.
so Welsh, you a runt man then, huh?
yeah. I'm gonna take that first.
Yeah. See, yeah. Yes, sir. You
Hey,
know. What's
I
up?
want to say this about the run too, man. You know, I like the runs. Don't get me wrong, but just this my opinion from from a little bit of experience, dog, man. I ain't gonna say I'm no fucking legend or nothing like that, which I'm not. But I'm just I got a lot of experience in the dog.
Mm-hmm.
The guy from the run to the pick of the litter. If I choose to pick up the litter, the run is never gonna catch up with me because of my experience. You feel what I'm saying? I'm in the lead.
Right.
I'm never gonna. I ain't gonna let no run catch me. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something to think about for the guys who like runs. And I'm one of the guys that like runs. I'm just saying from an overall perspective. It's no way if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you treating every animal equal that the run is never supposed to catch up with the pick of the litter.
I gotta disagree about that. I got to strongly disagree about that. And
Now, 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 now,
Bang X is one of the prime examples, and I'm gonna just leave it as that.
now the pick of the litter, most of the time, the pick of the litter, what I've seen, some people pick of the litter don't be the true pick of the litter.
Okay, we had that conversation the other day, or a few weeks ago. The pick of the litter is to each his own, man. The pick of the litter could be just the first choice.
Right.
But I think I don't know, man. I think maybe if we labeled it different, it'd be viewed different. Like pick of the litter could be first choice, or it could be the breeder's choice. You know what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
Big A, what? Okay. So in your perspective,
Mm-hmm.
what is the definition of pick of the litter in your perspective?
I like to be honest, bro. I don't know, man, because after when you start looking at it, like the pick of the litter is just the pick of the litter. It's just a dog to me, man.
Okay. Better question.
Mhm.
When exactly do you make the pick of the litter? Let me put it in that term.
It
Let me
depends
put it in
on
that term.
it depends on the person and the program, what they looking at. I know people that just pick the dog off of the color. That was the color they wanted. I know people that let their kids pick the dog, or their wife pick the dog out the litter. So I mean, like when you say pick of the litter, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It could be the breeder's choice. It could be the first pick, like the first pick out of the litter, the first dog taken out of the litter. It could be anything, but it's just to each his own. I guess you could say. You know.
I believe it's the breeder's pick.
That's facts,
It's the
man.
pick of the
Yeah.
litter.
Yeah.
Cause
Yeah.
I think we all can agree that we might have done seen a little puppies and we seen a pup that we thought was gonna be the one, but at 2 weeks, but then at 6 weeks you like the one better than the one that you picked
Yeah,
starting
because
off.
this is how I look at it. To be honest, to me, the pick of the litter you shouldn't even be able to say it until they 2 years old. But like you know what I'm saying, and that's just my personal preference. But like I like when it comes to the pick of the litter, like it's just the first dog to leave. Like I've seen situations where the breeder doesn't even make a choice. They let the person, whoever was going to get the first dog, come in and pick the dog. So is that the pick of the litter, or is that
Okay, so
first choice?
here's a different twist on it. Say I keep every one of these puppies
Mm-hmm.
right here. Which one's the pick of the litter then?
Exactly. Yeah. That
That's
I
what
was
I'm
just getting
saying.
to that.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So when you say pick of the litter, I don't know. It's just the first dog to leave. Actually,
Honestly, I don't really think I don't really. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and this is talking from experience and shit I don't witness. A lot of that, depending on the depending on the camps that's involved,
Mm-hmm.
that pick of the litter stuff really ruined a lot of programs.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that is people have picks of the litters, their expectations is too high, and then you don't hear nothing about the rest of the siblings because they was focused on their pick of the litter,
Mm-hmm.
and then the whole breeding gone to shit, and then they got to move on to something else because they was only focused on that one dog.
Yep.
So a, a lot of that
Right.
pick of the litter, I'm not even big on that, but I mean, I've seen people focus on the wrong dogs just because that's the one they picked.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Tony say he say wait, hold on. Let me go up here. Himmy James say, wow, picking the winner at 6 to 8 weeks old. You know what I'm saying? Okay. He say Tony M say Russ have caught up and passed every dog in the litter. What we talking about? And then Wells Walker say, I've trusted the breeder. I tell them what I'm looking for in a pup and ask them to pick out which pup is showing these traits or closest to it at such a young age. Me too, man. I do a lot of that myself. That's what I'm saying. Like I've picked dogs and I picked the wrong dog, and I've had a better experience letting the breeder pick the dog for me, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I prefer for the breeder to pick the dog because I prefer to pick the dog for people. So like I'm not gonna prefer to pick the dog for people and go and want to pick all the dogs I want to buy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I ask them and let them choose. You know what I mean? That's a trusted method that I've just stuck with. It ain't
Yeah,
gonna hurt nothing.
Tony M said something real too, man, and we skipped over this. We all forgot about this one. Depending on the breed, the only difference between the first and second pick is thousands of dollars.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep.
yeah.
That too, you know what I'm
In the
saying?
bullies, whichever one's the most expensive is the pick of the litter.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know that. So when people say pick of the litter, I don't know. It's a case by case scenario, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this just to clear it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
With me, my pick of the litter is gonna be. It don't just have to be the biggest puppy or nothing. It's gonna be the most developed, the most aggressive, dominant puppy. You feel what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? This one
Yeah.
that's showing everything that I need to show. But just
Yeah.
because you can pick up the litter at 4 weeks, don't mean he's still gonna be that same puppy at 10 weeks old. It might be something, another one, a candidate that I overlooked. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I agree with everything. Everything that's just been said about the pick of the litter I deem to be correct.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Yes,
always
sir.
I keep the shyest ones or the ones
Bingo.
that struggle the most.
You
That's my
remember,
picks.
you remember I said that I done see, man, I had guys who don't want nothing but the shy dog. And then
Yeah.
to go back on your history, if you don't know your history and you want the hot dog, but you don't know that this line is built off of this rum dog back here that's really what your line based off of, that was a shy dog. And if you don't know that,
Well,
you
well.
ain't gonna never, you feel what I'm saying? It's shit like that, that a lot of people
Hey, listen.
disagree.
You just said a whole lot. I'm gonna tell you something. There's people in this chat that know exactly what I'm talking about. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just say this right quick, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. You got people that say, "Oh, I need mine's acting a certain way by 12 months. I need mine's acting a certain way by 15 months." And I said, that's why I said, people in this chat that know what I'm about to say. Now, I have looked at some of these guys' pedigree and looked at the foundation that it was stacked on with repeat breeding. And they
Right.
don't realize the dog that's that they chasing after didn't start till 4 years old and didn't retire till seven.
Right.
But then they'll tell you, they need it on by 12 months, which it don't make sense. I mean, yeah, you want good results early, but your foundation is based off a dog who didn't start till 4 years old and didn't finish till 7. But you putting so much pressure on these, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Right.
Too high expectations.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
And now high expectation most of the time causes dog men to ruin they high expectation dog. You know,
And
Yeah.
it
They ain't got
causes
nothing to
other
show you.
dog
They
men
ain't
to
got nothing
fall
to show
out.
you.
right.
Yeah.
It
Right.
also
Right.
it'll cause them to fall out with other dog men.
Right.
That they might have
Yeah.
been friends with forever
Right.
because they had too
Because
high of expectations.
yes,
I agree. If it's a family breed on family dogs.
or
Oh no, go
or
my bad.
elevated. We got a litter of puppies and I pick my pick of the litter. I feel like I got the best one, and I'm gonna get elevated. This one, it ain't gonna be good than mine. It ain't gonna be better than mine. But at 2 years old, you got the better dog, and I done put this dog. I done took it to every show. I done bought it every toy. I done did everything that I could do to make this dog what it's supposed to be, and you got yours better than mine. A lot of people don't like that.
Yeah.
No, they
But
don't.
that's why you got a network though. You're not
Right.
supposed to hate, especially if you got a half brother or a full belly mate. What you mad for? You supposed to get a pup off of that one and put it with yours, and hopefully you can make it do what it do.
Right.
Yeah,
I
man.
I think I
It's too much jealousy.
I think I heard. I don't know if it was at this one of the podcasts where somebody said over the history. You know how many lines that has been formulated off of favoritism of dogs, and if the dog that got bred and took the line forward wasn't really the best representative.
Yep.
Oh yeah, oh
Yep.
yeah.
That was on
That's a
there.
that's a lot of lines.
Yeah. Yep. And that's a lot of that's what it is, Tony. Selling dreams, man. Selling dreams.
Selling
Yeah.
the
And
American dream.
selling dreams and buying possibilities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Nah, for real.
That's
You
the
know?
truth.
Yeah, man. But we coming up on that hour mark, man. So man, where can we find you at, Game Breaker, man? Tell us a little something about yourself. Where can we find you at, man?
Man, listen, man. I just happened to click the link this morning, man. I be on all
Man.
I be on all the shows, man. You know, I'm just
Hmm.
nobody. I'm just nobody game breaker who was a little bitty boy picking up shit. You feel what I'm saying? For
Yes,
many, many,
sir.
many, many, many moons. You know, I got a lot of money, time, and everything invested in the dogs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to say to whoever's trying to get in the dogs. My mom told me at a young age. She said, "Man, her dad had hunting dogs, and one day, her dad told her to feed the dogs, and she didn't feed the dogs. And he got mad at her, whooped her ass. He was like, you didn't feed the dog when you put this dog on a chain or in a pen, whatever the case may be. A dog is like raising a baby. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This dog depend on you for everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to take 100% of care of the dog and get the understanding and knowledge you need to raise a dog, don't get in the dog game, man.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
man. Where can we find you at, man?
Shit, you can find me on the Big A Show, the Cookout.
Hey.
Find me on the
Hey.
Cookout Elevator, man. I'm up here, man. Shit,
Yes,
holla at me.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Y'all know what it is, man. We got the dog of the week coming up tomorrow, man. If y'all ain't got no shots in, man, today is the last day. And we got the digital dog show coming up at the end of the month. This is the month, man. It's free entries. Free
Hey,
entries, man. Huh? What's
let me
up?
let me ask you a question about that digital dog show. What is
Yeah.
that? How is it? What is that?
Okay, so the digital dog show is where you can be at your house, you can be wherever you at, man, and
Right.
we need a still shot, a shot of you showing the dog's teeth, not a still shot. It could be all in motion. You
Right.
showing the dog's teeth, showing a side shot of the dog in motion, doing moving, and then some kind of action. Whatever kind of, you can show the dog working, doing something. It could just be
Right.
you walking the dog or whatever, and that's all you got to show. And then when you do that, on the digital dog show day, we'll take the videos, compile them together, and the public will vote on the dogs, you know, and they'll vote for dog, you know, best in show. We got different classes, just like a regular show, but it's digital, and it's free to enter, and we got cash prizes. So all the winners of each category gets a cash prize. You know, and
how much the pot's that big, eh?
Yeah, for the month of May, it's over $600. You know, so it's free to enter. It's free to enter. Same thing with the dog of the week. It's free cash prizes, man. You know, so all you got to do every week, and we have a digital dog show every month. It airs the first Saturday of the month. So May's digital dog show will show the first Saturday in June. You know, so you got till May 31st to get those in. And like I say, man, the free cash prizes, man. You know, you be surprised to who come through, man. Might have schoolboy slide through. It'd be a whole bunch of vets there sometimes, you know. Yeah.
Hey, before we get out of here, man, I know it's on this hour, man. I think I gotta do my just do again to, man. Salute everybody who doing this shit, man. I eat, live, sleep, shit, breathe dogs. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to get up every morning. You know, you got the heavy hitters, you know what I'm saying, who do their shows when they do their shows. But now with this new wave, I get to get up every morning and look forward to different podcasts coming on, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the day, you know what I'm saying, and just and get my notebook out, you know what I'm saying, or be able to share thoughts and conversation with like-minded people, man, you know what I'm saying. I don't think you get a lot of people really, a lot of people know, but a lot of people don't know. What we're doing right now is the equivalent of the sporting dog journals or the magazines back in the day, man, you know what I'm saying. This right here, we got to protect it, and I don't think for the ones who really appreciate it and know what it is, it can't be duplicated, man. This is something real special for everybody. So I salute everybody because y'all give me a chance to keep learning every day and just stay in tune with a dog. You know what I'm saying? With these shows, even if you don't got a dog, if you're really paying attention to what's being said and what's going on, it's damn near like you got a dog on the chain or in the pen right there at that time. You know what I'm saying? So salute everybody, salute all the OGs, salute all the legends, salute all the veterans, salute all the people who just now starting this dog journey, man. It's a long term journey, but if you put in the work, you will get results, man. So salute all y'all, man.
Man, well said. Appreciate
one piece of advice to you: just stay consistent, bro.
Yeah.
We moving forward.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man. I've been, I done a lot of the shit that y'all talk about, man. I done did 2 or 3 times out here, man. You know what I'm saying? My biggest yard was 40 dogs. You feel what I'm saying? So I ain't no rookie by far. You feel what I'm saying? But this might be the last time y'all ever hear from me on the show like that. But man, I salute for y'all giving the opportunity for y'all putting the links up so people can come in and chat, man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you, man. It ain't nothing. You ain't doing nothing but giving us fuel in the tank, man. We doing it for people like you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And one more thing, for people like me, it's okay to come on here every now and then and give an insight or just share some knowledge.
That's what we want.
It might be something that somebody need to hear. You know what I'm saying? So y'all absolutely right.
That's what we want, man. The way I look at it, this is like, we at a bar or something like this, and this is the bar that everybody come to hang out at. You be surprised, schoolboy might be through here, so somebody might come through the bar, and then we just sitting there chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know how many dog men, legendary dog men, nobodies that I didn't got to meet or know that even existed, that I didn't know existed before this shit came on YouTube. It's a whole, because you know, even what we're doing about sharing information, if y'all know, like I know, this shit wasn't like this. You don't get information shared. You gotta earn it. And most times, most dog men gonna lure you the wrong direction just to see if you really about what you say you is. You feel what I'm saying? The information didn't come free like it's coming right now. So I feel like everybody should really take advantage of that.
Yeah, man, and that's the beautiful thing, and that's why I say, man, like I just want to see it through everybody's eyes, man. I could be on the lane and be stuck on what I'm stuck on, no matter what. I still want to see it through everybody's eyes, man. I don't want my way to be the way. You know what I'm saying? So when people come up here, man, I want to hear what they got to say. When especially the OGs, even the newcomers, man, because it's a lot of stuff that. Or things that I didn't look at from a certain perspective or something like that. And then it's always somebody that sees it different and also has an answer for it that works, Yeah.
I think the wise man and the smart man is the one who can see the picture from all angles, man.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. But coming up, Elevated, man, where can they find you at, bro?
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all the above.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Before we leave, Elevated.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I don't know too much about you, but I'm a wizard. You feel what I'm saying? I did a lot of research. I did, I went down through all of them. A lot of these guys might have something to say, a lot of shit to say about Elevated, but Elevated got a program and is on a mission that a lot of people ain't got right now. A lot of these high name ranked dogs or whatever, they can't look through a 4th generation or 8th generation pedigree and see their name on every dog. You feel what I'm saying? That's a good. That's a high grade accomplishment, man. So keep going, man.
I appreciate that. If you want to join the mission, hit me up on Facebook. We might get you in there.
Yeah, man. And man, one of the hardest paths to travel in life is the path that you travel alone. Mm-hmm. So salute, Elevated. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Hey, but we got Men at Work coming up next. So y'all ain't got to go nowhere. You can stay here for this binge-worthy content, man. But other than that, you know what time it is, man. We got to get up out of here, man, because Pip's probably mad at me, man. But we going to deal with that when we get over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Time to clock in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Beat drop, slow, head not flow.
Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Started with Boogeyman. Ghost in the chain, locked in the game, never move for fame. Old mountain lions run deep in the flame. Sock about the fire, Michonne brought the name. Then came fat boy, muscle in the frame. Man, hard, put respect on the name. Shotgun smooth, but the work insane. Sugar sweet jit, but our bite ain't tame. Kiki in the back, had a game in the veins. Gatorade heavy, running straight through the rain. Red digit close, watch him work in the lane. Renegade rider, can't hold that chain. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sock it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die. Ain't no luck, just grit and grind. Every dog here put work in time. Lady Rage got that fire in her eyes. Red alert taught us how to recognize signs. Blood heavy like a 2-ton chain. Everything proven, no need to explain. They asked what's in it, that yellow campaign. Built off real, we don't fake no strain. Second with the flame, Michonne lit the wick. If you know, then you know that line too slick. From the field to the show, every move so thick you can't blueprint this. It's the legacy pick. Blood don't lie, it's that old yellow line. Sack it from the south, Michonne on the rise. Boogeyman bark, leave a mark every time. We don't breed for clout, we breed for spine. DNA thick, can't clone this pride. That Shogun blood, yeah, the legends don't die.